Flipping failure. Are you sick and tired of being afraid to fail and ready to give failure the effing bird for good? Good. You are in the right place because we are going to reframe the F out of failure. Get it? Because failure starts with an F, okay? So I was having some fun with a play on words, but in all seriousness, shifting the way we look at failure is a necessity if we're going to achieve all we've set out to. I know fear can be stifling, but you are on a mission and can't afford to be stopped by shrinking, playing small, or sitting on the sidelines watching your life pass you by, all because you're afraid things won't work out. No, we are not going to sit up here and cuss out failure all day. Instead, I'm dropping 3 F-bombs to help you shift, reframe, level up, and flipping a failure to work for you. You may have started this episode thinking you had no F's to give when it came to failure. And my hope is you walk away with 3 better ones than what you came with. Ready for me to be your personal mindset coach? Work with me one-on-one. Let's let go of what's holding you back and get the mindset you need so you can chase your dreams while doing all the things. You don't have to just dream about the life you love. You can actually live the life of your dreams. With my simple strategies, you can go from imagining to manifesting, from just trying to thriving. Let's rewrite your story now. Tap the link in the show notes and apply now. Your next level you is awaiting. Let's go on this journey together. In the midst of doing all the things, you can do all things and chase your dreams. Stay encouraged as we go on this journey called life, tackling everything that comes our way while we shine our light despite any circumstances we face. No more downplaying or dimming your light, because through the good, the bad, and everything in between, together we can encourage over everything. Encourager. My hope for you is you take fear of failure and flip it to work to your advantage, to stand rightfully in your power so you can achieve the greatness locked inside you, to move forward despite the fear of failing, looking stupid, or not making it in the way you thought. My hope is for you to be able to move forward confidently with the fear of failure packed up in your duffel bag while you put in the work to bring your dreams to life. I love this concept of flipping failure to your advantage. There's something so powerful about using the very thing that has you backed up into a corner and use it to fuel your fire and keep it lit as you're progressing beyond your expectations. I've coached many on shifting those limiting beliefs into empowering thoughts, all in part because I've had to do it for myself so many times. I've shared with you before, I thought I'd be single forever, and my man was up in heaven with Jesus. Yes. If that ain't a limiting belief for you, I don't know what is. I didn't go from that to engage without some serious mindset adjustments. And this is one of my favorite flipping failure frameworks. Say that 3 times fast. Because in order to see it differently, you've got to get into a new relationship with failure. No, I'm not talking about calling up that old boyfriend you knew it would never work with and put him back in rotation. Okay, that's not what this is. I'm giving you 3 F-bombs, aka fantastic ways to empower the F out of failure and forge a new relationship with it instead. Fear is a natural part of the human experience. You are bound to experience it throughout this life, but let's consider it's not here to do its worst. It's actually here for you to do your best. Instead of cowering down in fear, it's a sign to stand boldly in your power and go forward expecting good things to happen. One of the lessons this life has taught me is that worrying and being afraid of the worst case scenario, it's not the only option. Sure, there will be things that come up that we worry about, but what is really calling our attention is what the underlying worry is directing us to that actually needs to be addressed. And this is coming from someone who used to worry a lot. I have an analytical mind and it just doesn't turn off. It used to be challenging to not think about all the possibilities of what can happen. But that wasn't necessarily the full truth. I wasn't really thinking about all the possibilities. I mean, I did, but the ones I ruminated on were the worst negative ones. Then I'd do all that worrying, and then things would have the nerve to just work out. The audacity, honey. No, but really, it made me want to skip the worrying part altogether and get to the feeling good part of just knowing everything was going to work out the way it was supposed to. If I could do away with the worry, I could do the same with the fear of failure too. To get into a new relationship with failure, it requires you to skip the worry and go right to believing it will work out as it always does. It's not a switch. But first, let's call failure what it is: feedback. In a world where you are busy, you've got a household to run, crazy kid schedules, work, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. With all the adulting going on and all the roles you're working so hard to fill, it can cause you to forget about one of the most important relationships that you have, the one with you. Whether you've just been too busy making everyone else's world go round, or maybe you're living according to what somebody else thought was best for you, or maybe life just happened and it's got you feeling like you don't even know who you are or what you want anymore. There are so many things that can distract or disconnect you from your inner knowing. Go from feeling lost or disconnected to reconnected with the Reignite Your Inner Knowing roadmap. Get you back in touch with yourself and feeling like a priority on your own list. Knowing your desires and what you want at this season in your life, you can live the life of your dreams. And it starts with the connection you have with you. Check the show notes to get the Reignite Your Inner Knowing roadmap. It's your time to get back in touch with you. Click the show notes and get started. Failure is feedback. For those who geek out on data, details, and all the info and intel, turn it up because this is your jam. We all need feedback. It's the information that gives you the wisdom, knowledge, expertise, if you will, that helps you discern and make better decisions going forward. Information is only powerful when applied, yet somehow even feedback gets a bad rap. So it begs the question, how do you take feedback? Do you get defensive? Do you instantly get offended? Are you already positioned and ready to fight? It sounds like an ego to me. Or are you open and receptive, ready to explore or examine? Are you in discovery mode or seeking to destroy? There is always something in feedback that is meant to be learned from. Yes, sometimes people's tone and delivery can be off. So don't at me in the comments like, Letty, if they didn't come at me foul, we would have had a whole nother kind of conversation. Okay, listen. Let's set their delivery to the side. Is there any truth to what they said? In what's being brought to your attention, is there something you can improve upon? Anything for you to actually work on? If this doesn't have you open, what is it bringing up for you? Is someone challenging your character, pushing your boundaries, tap dancing on your triggers, or coming at you, attacking you for what you stand for? Is this feedback highlighting something you need to learn about yourself, heal, or grow from? Take what you will and leave the rest. You can leave behind the funky attitude they said it in. You can let them keep the negative energy they approached you with. You don't have to take anything you don't want, but take with you what aligns with you, your truth, and what you need to take you to the next level. Feedback is meant to help you improve, so let it assist you in doing that. When you have that good information, those golden nuggets and gems, you can move forward strategically and can even speed up your next steps to success. What many fail to see, failure is actually a forward movement. So many get down on themselves and beat themselves up for failing, thinking it's holding you back, slowing you down, stalling or stopping you, when really it's a sign you're moving forward. Thomas Edison felt he found 10,000 ways that it wouldn't work, and still he had hope. He was onto something. He didn't see it as failure. He used it as faith to keep going. Without this knowledge that he gained from all of his experiments, would he have been able to invent the light bulb? Probably not. We can learn a lot from the inventors of the world. How many times, how many years do they keep experimenting to improve their truth? They don't just give up after a few times. They keep examining, refining, tweaking, shifting, adjusting. They stay curious and hungry for the next piece to the puzzle. In a culture that sometimes thrives on giving up, throwing in the towel all too easily, the question then becomes, do you have the stamina to use feedback to propel you into moving forward? Will you see failure as taking step backwards or moving steps forward? What have you learned from this attempt? Aren't you wiser because of it? I'm so grateful I didn't give up on love when past relationships didn't work out. I'm so thankful I chose to learn from those experiences about myself and what I wanted. One of the greatest lessons I learned is things in life will fail, but it's not a sign to quit. It's actually a sign to keep going. If you haven't reached the best of what you want, don't stop until you do. Failure gives you the gift of moving forward wiser, stronger, and overall more equipped to handle what's ahead. Flip your perspective on failure so you can progress in better energy and expectation of greatness to come. Getting it wrong can cause you to get it right, but you've got to recognize you are one step closer. You are one step closer to revealing your next level you. You are worthy of self-care every day, not just on a Sunday. As you do all the things and chase your dreams, self-care has to be a major part of your day-to-day life. Giving yourself what you need is the key to being able to give everybody else what they need. If you're having a hard time making sure your self-care is on your list, get all the deets in the Encourager's Insider Guide to Self-Care. These free, easy DIY tips for simple ways to make self-care a part of your daily routine, plus some bonus goodies. Get your free Encourager's Guide to Self-Care because you deserve to be a priority on your list. Grab it right on the blog or theshow.encourageovereverything.com/self-care freebie. No more being last on your list. Grab it today and give yourself the gift of self-care. You may see firsthand you are stronger than you imagined, smarter than you gave yourself credit for, more compassionate than what you realize you have the capacity to be, or a whole host of other skills and capabilities that you may not have otherwise got a chance to meet. It's really an opportunity to see exactly what you are made of. It's here you may be surprised at what you can do, how you can cope, your ability to heal, or even bring out the best in others. It's here you may be reminded of your true essence, what makes you excel, thrive, or just simply how incredible you are. The beauty is all paths that lead to you, even the ones that are rocky, haphazard, dark, and not well lit. The shadows have the ability to teach you just as much as the light. We need all of it in order to really see what we're supposed to gain, including the best of ourselves. It's in this space we receive confirmation as well as new insights and discoveries. Finding yourself is probably one of the greatest of all the F's to give. What is this experience teaching you, showing you, or requesting of you? Failure is not something you are meant to identify with. Failure is not who you are. It's an event that happens. What you choose to see, believe, or take away from it is all up to you. Every day, we get the opportunity to experiment and explore. When we don't get the results we want, it's not meant to internalize those results as a reflection of whether or not we, the human, are a failure or a success. Be careful about what you tie your identity to. What you believe to be true about you and who you are should be greater than an experience and whether it works out or not, especially when you are not the only deciding factor in the outcome. When past relationships didn't work, I didn't give in to that thought I wasn't relationship material. Instead, I chose to learn from those experiences, work on myself, and the type of partner I was looking for and attracting. The only way you can be a failure is if you identify as one. The only way you can be a failure is if you identify as one. Embrace the separation between you, your actual human being, and the things you do as the human being. And give yourself room to try things out, to find roads to success, even when it requires going down the ones that don't. Grant yourself grace as you experience failure and not be discouraged by it. It has to be said again, failure is not who you are. It's an event that happens. Accept failure is a possible outcome in any situation, but it is not the ultimate end unless it's where you decide to stop. You are not a failure. You are a beautiful human being who has experienced failures, and you will continue to do so from time to time for as long as you're living. It's a possibility, just as success is possible as well. What will you learn from your failure? What will you allow it to reveal to you? The best of who you are, and in the process of becoming. If you find everything that is lovely about failure, you can grow from it and flip it to work to your advantage. Failure isn't just about getting things wrong. It's about setting you up to get it right in the future by giving you the tools to move forward toward success and find the exquisite, magnificent being you are. You may have started this episode thinking you had no F's to give when it came to failure. And my hope is you walk away with 3 better ones than you came with. Encourage over your failures. Trust me, you do have some F's to give, and they are good ones at that. While you're at it, encourage over everything. Encourager, thanks so much for tuning in. My wish for you is to have your encouragement cup filled up. If you enjoyed this episode, there's a few ways to say thank you. Share it with a few friends. You are a true encourager and spreading encouraging messages to lift others up because that's just what we do. Leave a review, light me up with some stars, and share your feedback so we can make encouragement a way of life. To keep the conversation going, connect with me on Instagram at Encourage Over Everything. And don't forget to check out the show notes for today's sponsors, along with how to apply to become an elite encourager for one-on-one coaching, along with all the other ways to stay connected. Thank you so much for being here with me. Until next time, I'm sending you love, light, and loads of positivity, because together we can encourage over everything.